Okay, everyone. So I'm still working on the solar system. I wanted to answer a few questions that some people had. So, with my solar system setup, we have four 100-watt solar panels. So each panel produces 100 watts, but what a lot of people don't realize, it actually doesn't. So the panels are rated at 100 watts, but that's right from the panel. You see, when the voltage comes into your wires, each time your wires have a connection, you actually lose some of that power. So, the longer your wires are, the more loss there is. So, the more connections and the more wire, the longer the wires, the more you lose. So, our wires run the whole way through our bathroom, over here, and over here. And from that, we have one connection port. So over here we actually have two. So we have the solar panel wires connected into an adapter, and that adapter is connected to the extension wire. So we have two ways it connects. Then that transfers the whole way over to our charge controller. So that's a third connection. And then from the charge controller, it sends it to the battery. So there's also one connection point and two connection point from the controller to the battery. Okay, so how this exactly works, converting the voltage and everything, there's a misconception, and a lot of people think you can connect a solar panels directly to your battery. You may be able to do that, but that is not a smart thing to do. That's a no-no. That's something you don't actually want to do. You see, the voltage coming from the solar panel is going to be a little different than the voltage of the battery. So that's why you need a charge controller. A charge controller, what you guys see right here, this takes in the voltage from the solar panel, and then it converts that voltage, and then it sends that voltage through your battery cables right here into your battery, which charges your battery. So you got the solar cables right there. So that comes from the panel, those two first wires. The second two wires are pulling the correct voltage from the controller into your batteries. And your inverter actually doesn't connect to your controller. Your inverter simply connects to your batteries, and it pulls the charge of your batteries into the inverter, and then your inverter inverts that power into your plugs, which into your 120 volts, give or take a little bit. So let's recap a little bit. You have your solar panels out there. All the volts travel through the wires into your control charger. Your control charger then controls the voltage and then sends it from your control charger to your batteries. And then from your batteries, you have your inverter. And your inverter pulls the electricity, pulls the power from your batteries into here and converts it so you can use it as 120 volts or whatever you're using it for. And then that connects to whatever you need charged or whatever you're actually using. For example, we have a redneck setup here, but that is controlling our power, and that's controlling our computer. So this is running our bedroom light, our computer, our printer, our whole setup in the office. It's running our phone charging stations in our other bedroom. It's running our fan on at night. It's running a alarm clock. It's running some accessories. It's also running my wife's electric toothbrush that's always plugged in the bathroom, and it's running my wife's, she has other accessories, and also it's running the lights in that bathroom as well. So basically the entire upstairs. Now, the only thing that is not connected to our solar grid is this bedroom light. This is the only one that's not connected, and my wife didn't really want any wires ran through the house, you know, over here. So she just wanted a simple setup where she just flips it on like that and it comes on. Now this is a low powered light bulb, and this is actually a 40-watt light bulb, equivalent to a 40 watt. So this actually produces 4.5 watts, and I think it came out to like $5 a year if you would have this on for 3 hours every single day. But we're not up in our bedroom other than to sleep, so yeah, it's probably like $5 maximum a year. Now for the office, because it's the office and I don't really care, we have this setup here where I can turn the lights on and off just like that, and this is connected to our solar. Now you might wonder, well, there's wires everywhere. Yes, that is the downfall. Unless you connect it to your house AC, but that would draw too much. If we had it connected to the house AC, it would draw way too much from the batteries, and it just wouldn't work. 3 batteries, which is what we have, just would not be enough. And these batteries are just about $200 each. So you're talking $200, $400, $600 for 3 batteries. Now we have a 4th battery coming thanks to Windy Nation. So we will be having 4 batteries. Now one thing I've noticed, it's basically 1 battery a day. If you don't have direct sunlight, you'll probably use about 1 battery a day. I tested it out, and the last 3 days we've had nothing but cloudy weather. Now, your solar system is charging on cloudy days, but it's not as much ampage as a sunny day. So right now, the clouds are in, but there's still sunshine, so it's producing 12.7 volts. When the sun is directly hitting all panels, it produces 13.8 volts. Now, the more sunlight that's shining on for a longer period of time will charge your batteries much faster. So, as you can see, my battery has 3 bars left out of 5. But you can get 10 to 15 years out of each battery if you wire it correctly and if you don't discharge it too much. So these batteries can hold 13.8 volts each battery. That's the safe for these batteries because they're deep cycle batteries, and that's what they're rated at. So we have ours set that it charges up to 13.8 on when the sun is fully shining. We could go higher than that. We can have it charge higher, but then you would damage your batteries. So we have it set that once this hits 13.8 volts, so you see here, once that hits 13.8 volts, it actually stops sending solar to the batteries. And when it's fully sunny out, no clouds, the sun is hitting all panels, it charges 13.8 volts. So the more batteries we would have in our battery bank, the longer we could go days that it's not sunny. So right now we can go about 3 days with everything we have hooked up to the system. So 3 days without direct sunlight. Now the 4th battery should give us about 4 days without direct sunlight, which it's going 4 days without direct sunlight doesn't normally happen in my area that often, so we should be good with 4. Now you might wonder during the winter times. Well, during the winter times, yes, you do want to clean the snow off your panels. There is one thing that a lot of people don't understand with the winter. When snow is covered your panels, it actually creates a bright effect. So your panels are still charging with snow on top because the sun hits the white and it really reflects and shines, and it can shine through snow. But you're not going to get the direct, power as if you would have the snow cleared off. So that's why we mounted our panels where we did, right at our window. So I literally can use a long broom, open our window, and just simply push the snow off the panels, and that's it. If I put the panel, like right now you see we got full sunlight. Now the sun's not directly hitting them, so let's see what we're charging at right now. Alright, so 12.7 with the sun shining bright but not directly hitting them. when the sun is directly hitting them, it's 13.8. So right there you see a little bit. Now we can see there's some clouds, so the sun's probably blocked behind some clouds. Normally, if the sun's not blocked behind clouds, you can see the reflection of the sun in them, and then that's when you're getting your maximum electricity. So that is just a little quick setup. 4 100-watt panels is the maximum my controller can handle. So if we would add any more, we would have to get a second charge controller. However, you can connect another charge controller to your battery bank if you want. But if I do it, I'd probably do it for downstairs. So we'll see how much money we actually save. It's going to depend on a lot of things. But it's just nice to have, if our electric goes out, we have backup. So that's pretty nice. And we're running stuff on it right now. So we are saving money. I just don't know how much at this point. But because I have everything set up and I wired it this way, so we wired everything in, I think it was a parallel or series, I forget. So much that goes in with this. Anyway, we wired it up that all batteries charge at the same time and all batteries withdraw at the same time. So no battery is getting more or less. And that keeps all the batteries evened out. So we'll get 10 years on this. They say you don't want to discharge your batteries below 50%. For this setup, it's rated at, once the batteries, so now we're at 12.8. Once the batteries are down to 11.9, so if this drops to 11.9 volts, it will kick off and shut my system off. Because yes, you can drain your battery way past 11.9, but the more you drain it past 11.9 volts, the quicker your battery will be shot and worthless. So you could get five years out of these batteries, but drain it really far back, or you can get 10 plus years if you have it set that it kicks off. So with 3 days of just clouds, the last 3 days, we were at 12. So we almost hit 11.9. So here's our inverter. And you can just see what the inverter shows. So yeah, we hit 12, almost 11.9, and that was 3 days. And keep in mind, this system is running 24 hours straight, and we have stuff hooked up all night. So it's not just like during the day, it's during the day and all night. So that's 3 days and nights of pooling without, at night obviously there's no charge coming into the system. During the day, even if it's cloudy, there's anywhere from 12 to 12.5 volts coming in to charge it. So, but that doesn't really charge much. You only really charge your system if you can get 12.7 to 12.8 and higher, and you really charge your system at 13.8. That really just bumps the battery power up. So with the fourth battery coming, that's just going to give that extra security. And also, the sad thing is, when the sun is shining bright non-stop and you get 4 hours of that non-stop brightness, my battery's charged full and I'm losing power. So then it cuts off and just stops until, I pull enough power from the inverter that it needs to charge the batteries and top them off. So with the fourth battery, it's going to not only keep charging longer, but when we don't have that sunlight, we're going to have just basically an extra full 24 hours of security. So, the chances of having more than 4 days without any direct sunlight are probably slim. It'll happen from time to time, but yeah, so I'm excited. We got more stuff that we're hooking up as well. Like right here, I'm actually going to be installing these. I have 3 more, but since another battery's coming, what this will do is I'm going to mount it right on here. Each one's going to have its own individual. Let's see if I can show you guys. It's going to be a little hard. So let's just lay this right in here. Might not show up. So what this will do, as soon as we connect this, we're going to have this connected, and we got it upside down. Alright, so that's 12.82 volts. That's how much capacity is in this battery right now. So it's got 12.8 volts. You do not want to let a battery get past 11.9 volts, because then it starts hurting the battery and you don't get as much life out of it. Okay, let's go ahead and test out the second battery, just to show you guys, for example, how I have it set up. It's a little hard here. I got these caps on here I gotta move around. Sorry guys, it's taking me a little longer here. I think I got it on enough. So let's turn this around so we can see it better. Now this is our second battery. So second battery, 12.81. So as you can see, the same voltage in that battery. So my system is charging it equally, and my system is drawing from it equally. And let's go see now. The inverter has 12.7, and this is at 12.8. So that's what's coming in. That 12.8 is what the battery bank's at, but also what the panel is charging at as well. Like when it's full charge, let's see here how we can do this. So we got 15.9 amps. I think that's coming in. So right now, we've actually produced 720 AH. Let's see. So yeah, here's our load off, 11.9. Load on. Now we don't actually have the load set up on here. So right here, this is when our solar panel kicks off, when it charges to 13.8. So this will continue to charge up until 13.8, and then it will stop charging. So because these batteries can only handle up to 13.8 of volts of storage. Okay, I hope that answers some of your guys' questions. I was just gonna do a 5-minute video, but yeah. So we're gonna have each one mounted, and the screen is gonna be on each battery, just so we can monitor each battery. I probably really wouldn't have to do one for each battery, but we're gonna do it. I don't think it'll take too much power, you know, having these hooked up. It's very simple to do, and that's actually coming out, so we gotta rewire that. I just stuck that in there quick, so let's actually pull this out so I remember to rewire that. There we go. Alright guys, thanks for watching.